I know, me! Oh, pick 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 me!
Welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if this is your first time here. So today I'm answering the question that we constantly get, which is, where did Trish and I do our TEFL certificates? Okay, so Trish and I essentially did our TEFLs with I2I. We both did the 300-hour one, and when we did it, it cost us about 3,000 rand, and it was on special at 75% off. Okay, but I recently realized that these prices fluctuate, and they actually get to a point where they get super expensive on I2I. As in, the one that we did on at its normal price, it went all the way up to 15,000 or something. So it was a really good steal. So in this video, I'm going to sort of explain the various packages they have, when are the best times for you to get your TEFL certificate, because that affects the price, as well as finally we're going to talk about why I personally don't think you should get those TEFL certificates that are 100 rand or like ridiculously low prices. Okay, so I'm gonna put me scrolling through their site somewhere here, probably here. They have essentially two sets of TEFL certificates, right? So there's some where you get actual classroom practice. Okay, so you have to go to a location, probably physically, and have, I think it's 2 days where you'll be having practical classes. But Trish and I ain't got time for that. We didn't have time for that. Trish was doing her LLB when she got her TEFL certificate, and I was in the middle of nowhere. I live in Timbuktu, guys. So we just went ahead with the packages that don't have that extra 20 hours. Okay, so we did the 300-hour one. There are other classes, right? So you can do the 120-hour online one, which is like the most basic. Right now I think it's about 2,000 rand, but you'll be able to see the price there. But at its quote-unquote normal price, it goes all the way up to 5k on I2I. Okay, and what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it about their packages. You just have to read through what they each come with. But for the 320-hour one, I think for the 300-hour one, you get specializations, right? So you'll get 30-hour young learners, 20-hour, I think, oh, it's still 30-hour business. I think there's a 60-hour one as well. I would put everything that I'm talking about on the screen so you can pause it and read through it. And what else is on I2I? Yeah, and you can also get something called, after you submitted everything, right, and you're done with the course and you're submitting the final assignment, you can get something called express marking, in which they would literally mark your paper in like 2 days and you get your certificate quicker that way. I'm not sure what the average waiting time is for normal if you don't get express marking, but I think it's about 7 days. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that, because I did express marking when I did the 120-hour one. And yeah, so the process is pretty simple. You make your payment, you get a confirmation email saying you can start your course now. They also send you what your username and login details are. And note that your course, all the courses that you buy are going to expire, I think, within a year, right? But the moment you click on them, it starts counting down the hour breakdown, right? So let's say you start your 120-hour one, you have 70 days to finish it. Okay, and then if you don't click the others, you can keep them for, I think, about a year, and then you can't access them anymore. So you have quite a long time to finish everything. But I have to point out that I don't really think it's necessary to get the 300-hour one. If you get a basic 120-hour TEFL certificate from I2I, that is more than sufficient. Because when Trish and I did it, we didn't finish all those other little certificates. We simply finished the 120-hour, immediately applied, and we were able to secure our jobs just using the 120-hour certificate. The other certificates would be good in terms of making you more competitive in the super saturated industry or whatever. Okay, so when are the best times for you to get your TEFL certificate? We got our 75% deal around June, July, August. So around those times you need to go check whether they're going to do the same price cuts again, because I think they're high at this time of the year because people are scrambling for what they're going to do next year, and there's a lot of bookings for TEFL certificates on eye to eye. So obviously they're gonna increase them a little. My estimation is based on the fact that we both got ours in by September, so we must have started in August or July. But I remember I was looking at the prices throughout those 3 months, and it kind of stayed consistent then, because things were probably quieter because it's right smack dab in the middle of the year. Okay, and the reason why I personally do not recommend that you get those, I don't know, it's like daddy deals. I've seen people recommend that. If you're really pressed for time, I'd say, yeah, you can do that. But there's some I heard you can get for 100 Rand. I mean, if you're sure it's from a verified school and it's a school that has a good reputation, then sure, go ahead. But if it's like something sketchy and you don't know exactly where the course is coming from, etc., then rather stay away and invest in like good schools that will, make sure that your TEFL is legit. I think at the beginning of this video, I kind of put different logos of some schools. Those are like some popular schools that I've seen, but I trust eye to eye because my TEFL has never been questioned, and Trish has really gone far with her TEFL because she's actually on location in China, right? So it's a very good certificate in my opinion, judging from how it's performed for the both of us. And then final tip that we get asked a lot is, what internet do we use? Okay, I've kind of answered that before. Personally, when I'm at home, I use our Wi-Fi provider is True Communications. When I'm back at university, I just use the Wi-Fi that's provided by my complex, which is my surfer. But if you really want to get into this teaching thing but you don't have Wi-Fi or optic fiber, what, do yourself a favor. I don't know about other networks, but do yourself a favor and get a Vodacom SIM card, right? I'm gonna put the demonstration. Do yourself a favor, get a Vodacom SIM card, right? They have a deal where you can get a gigabyte of data for 12 Rand, right? A gigabyte of data, I know for a fact, will last you any video call sessions for an hour. So I teach for 50 minutes at a time. So I use that method when there's no electricity but my computer is fully charged. So that way I don't need to cancel lessons, right? So it's a good idea for you if you are suffering through constant blackouts, and two, you actually don't have access to internet. You could make a budget for yourself where you say, oh, I have maybe this X amount of hours per week, so I need this X amount of money just dedicated to buying that data, right? I think it's a pretty good hack if you're really pressed and you still want that job. So get yourself data. If you know a cheaper way to get a gig of data for at least an hour or even longer, comment down below so that we let each other know. The thing about that though is that you of course need to have a smartphone that can function as a mobile hotspot. I will show you guys how to do that on a Samsung. iPhone users, you are not catered for here. I'm joking. I'm sure you can figure out how to do that on an iPhone, but I think that's a pretty good tip if you're in any of those situations. Okay, now I'm going to answer a few questions that we've been getting a lot in our comments from previous videos. First question was, do we know any audio only teaching companies? I do, but I kind of forgot the name. I didn't get this one because my internet speed wasn't high enough. That's the only disadvantage of that job. I'll try and find out what their name is. If I do, I'll put their name here, or their, what do you call it, their logo or something. But yeah, I didn't get that one because they want very high internet. I think it was 20 megabytes upload and download speed, and that's like a lot, so I didn't get that one. But that's the only audio teaching company that I know of. Second question was, how important is your background when you're teaching? This depends on what level you're teaching, right? Trish mainly teaches kids, right? So she has a very colorful background, and it looks very kid friendly. But I think if you have like a plain white, no clutter behind you, please, background, that's perfectly fine. Because I remember when on Data ABC, one of the top teachers is this guy, and he just has a plain background. So it's not really a deal breaker. Just make sure your background is clean, nice, no clutter. It doesn't look like your life is a mess, right? So don't let the fact that you can't afford a chart or whatever hinder you. Just make sure your background is clean and white like this. This is a perfect background. So because I mostly teach adults, I can just keep it like this. Also for children, right? But make sure you have something that will keep them interested, like a puppet or whatever, if you really can't afford to get a background charts and boards and whatever, and all that extra stuff. Most companies just ask you to have a very clean, pristine looking background, so that the student doesn't get distracted. Question 3. Do you need a degree? Yes. I don't know any online company that hires people without degrees. Like, you can comment down below if you know, but I honestly don't know any, which is really unfair because degrees are hella expensive, right? So yeah, I don't know of any companies that hire without degrees. And then third question, people are always asking what headsets we use. I used the first headset pair that I owned were Astrum. I'll put them here. They're pretty affordable. I think 100 Rand. But you can get cheaper ones. Trish's first pair of headphones were from Crazy Store. So yeah, you can get headphones as long as the microphone works. The microphone is the most important part of your headsets. That's what they want to hear. And then third question is with regard to payments. Most companies use PayPal. All the companies I've worked for use PayPal, and the only way to access your money on PayPal in South Africa, if you're in South Africa, is through FNB. So you do need an FNB account, and then you need to be able to get to a computer, because that's how you access the whole PayPal linking thing. Comment down below if you guys want to be shown how to link your PayPal to your FNB. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Comment any questions below. We'll be sure to answer them in the comments. We did abandon some questions that keep piling on in all the videos. But yeah, comment below and I'll be sure to reply. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck with your job hunting, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. Adios. So I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. Okay, and then what else are we talking about today?